Good afternoon. Myself, Dr. Samantakmani Kuchubatla. In this video, I would like to explain about the construction of cables in the major topic insulated cables. So, I am Associate Professor in the Department of EEE ACE Engineering College. First of all, we will see what are the different parts in a uh, cable, where you can see on the right hand side a diagram which will have conductors. Three conductors are there: conductor 1, 2 and 3, and on every conductor there is a insulation, and this insulation will be of paper insulation, and over these three conductors, which are individually covered with paper insulation, are covered with a lead sheet. And after that, you can see there is a bedding is there. I have mentioned here bedding, and over that there is a armoring, and finally the serving. So all these six will be there in every cable, and sometimes depending upon the voltage requirements, some of the layers may not be required. So first of all, there is a conductor or core will be there in a cable, and over that there is a insulation. Generally this will be made with a impregnated paper, and over that there will be a metallic sheath. Generally lead will be used as a metallic sheath, and after that bedding will be done. We will see what are individually these layers will be there. First of all, conductors are core. This can be have either one or more conductors. Generally, copper or aluminum will be used. Instead of using pure copper or aluminum, tinned will be tinned copper or tinned aluminum will be used. And this is for depending upon the service requirement. Suppose if you require a three-phase service, so three conductors that are required in a cable. That is about the conductors. Coming to the insulation, each core is provided with a suitable thickness of insulation. So as I mentioned you earlier here, so it is having some paper insulation, right? So you can observe this one. It is made with a insulation. So suitable insulation will be done over each and every conductor. So the what is the thickness of this insulation will depending upon the voltage to be withstanded. So there are different types of cables depending upon their voltage levels. So requirement of the voltage level, the insulation thickness will be there. So coming to the what are the different materials that are used for this insulation, or either we can make use of impregnated paper or varnished cambric we can make use, or rubber material can also be used. So these are the different options we have to make the proper insulation around each and every core or cable. Next, what is a metallic sheath? Here, this metallic sheath is placed over the insulation to protect the cable from the moisture and gases, and any liquids or that acids or alkalines were there. Those can be this cable can be protected from those alkalis. So generally this cable is digged in a soil or generally placed in the atmosphere. So what happens? There is a chance of having these liquids or even the gases. So the generally used metallic sheath is of lead or aluminum is provided over the insulation. So in general lead sheathing will be done. And coming to the bedding, this is nothing but a metallic sheath which is kept as a layer over the metallic sheath what we have. And this is made with a fibrous material like jute generally will be used, and Hastin tape can also be used for this bedding purpose. The main intention of this bedding is it protect the cable against the corrosion. So where it is atmosphere allowed to the atmosphere, there is a chance of getting corrosion over the cable. So in order to protect that cable from against the corrosion, so bedding will be done. So and one more point, it can protect from the mechanical injuries due to the armoring. So armoring is one more layer which is kept over this one. It has to be get protected from this by making use of the jute material. And here we will see what is armoring. What is armoring? Over the bedding, armoring is provided actually. Either it may consisting of one or two layers of made with a galvanized steel wire or a steel tape can be used. And here the purpose of this armoring is generally to protect these cables from the mechanical injuries. So when they are digging these cables in the either the track or even in the ground also, what happens, the handling of these cables will be done roughly. So during that cases there should not be any damage to the conductor or core. So for that case the armoring is done. So I want to tell one point here. Even what we are discussed about like bedding or armoring, these will not be must for all the cables. So depending upon their voltage levels, uh, uh, these bedding or armoring can be done. Otherwise these need not be done, depending upon, mainly based on the voltage levels. So coming to the last one, which is called as a serving, and to this is basically done to protect the armoring from the atmospheric conditions. Again we kept armoring. Armor is generally, as I mentioned you, it is made with the galvanized steel tape, so galvanized steel tape, steel wire or steel tape, so that it may, there is a chance to get atmosphere maybe in contact with this one. So in order to avoid all those corrosion and all those things, again we are making use of a jute material, like which is similar to the bedding process here. So finally this is called serving. So this bedding, armoring, serving are the different layers which are provided over the cable. Depending upon your voltage requirement of the cable, these may be completely used, or there may be a difference in the layers of the cable what you have considered. This is about the construction of the cable. And here you can see how the underground cable will be there. You can find the cable the core actually, and over that one there is a insulation and other layers also you can observe in this diagram. And next, coming to the insulating materials which are used for the cables. Before going to this one, what are the properties that must be there for the insulating material we are using for the cable? Here, first and foremost thing is whatever the insulation we are using for the cables must have high insulation resistance. This is must. And if not, what happens, there is a chance of getting leakage currents. In order to avoid that one, the insulating material should have high insulation resistance. And similarly, the direct strength should also be very very high. Otherwise what happens, there is a electrical breakdown that takes place in the cable. And as I mentioned you earlier, mechanical handling of the cables will be there, and sometimes it will be rough, so that in order to avoid this one, the mechanical strength of the cable should also be very high. And in addition to this one, non-hygroscopic nature must be there. What is the meaning of hygroscopic? Actually which observes the moisture is called hygroscopic in nature. So we will place these cables in the either in air or in soil, so it does not allow any moisture content into the cable. So what happens if this allows into the cable, the insulation resistance of the cable is getting decreases, so there is a chance of getting breakdown of the cables. So it is must the non-hygroscopic nature of the insulating material. And similarly it should be non-inflammable. And finally if you observe like cost of the cable should also be less. Otherwise we cannot implement it for application cannot be extended. So coming to the last point here, it should be unaffected by acids and alkalis. Means it should not get react with these alkalis and acids. Otherwise, it leads to the again breakdown of the cable. So these are the different properties that are required for the good insulating material. And now we will discuss about what are the different insulating materials that are used in the cables actually. So you can see here rubber and vulcanized Indian rubber, impregnated paper, varnished cambric, and polyvinyl chloride. These are the different insulating materials which are probably used in the cables. Now we will discuss about what are the properties of the rubber, and one after other we will see what are the properties individually here. First of all, we will discuss about the rubber. So generally this rubber is made from the sap of the tropical trees, and sometimes it can also be produced with the oil products also. Coming to the relative permittivity, 2 to 3 is the relative permittivity of the rubber, and it will have a dielectric strength of 30 kilovolts per mm here. And coming to the resistivity of the insulation here, 10 power 17 ohm centimeters is the rubber resistivity of the insulation. And one more point, if you consider the pure rubber, it will have high insulating properties, no doubt, but it is having some disadvantages also. Now we will see what are those. So coming to the drawbacks, Here, the rubber, as a pure rubber, it will absorb the moisture. So actually, it should not absorb the moisture, but it is absorbing moisture. And one more point, the maximum temperature what it can withstand is only 38 degrees. And moreover, this rubber is very soft and liable to damage. So because of this nature, we cannot use this soft rubber or pure rubber directly as an insulating material. And to overcome this one, we'll go ahead with the vulcanized Indian rubber. So in this one, first of all, we should know what is the process of vulcanization. So actually, as it is known to you, pure rubber is not supporting all these insulating properties which are required for the cable manufacturing. So the next enhancement can be done by going with by implementing vulcanization. Here, what happens, taking a pure rubber and it will be mixed with the mineral matter such as zinc oxide and red lead, and 3 to 5% of the sulfur can also be added. So after completing this one, a compound will be formed, and this compound will be rolled into thin sheets and cut into strips here. And after that, this rubber compound is applied to the conductor, and it is allowed to a high temperature of around 150 degrees centigrade. So entire process is called as a vulcanization. So this product which is obtained from this process is called vulcanized India rubber. So in short, we can call it as VIR. So, and if you compare these properties, VIR properties with the pure rubber, you can see that there is a greater mechanical strength and durability increases, and where it is more wear resistant compared with the pure rubber. But there is one drawback with this VIR, that is sulfur reacts very quickly with the copper. Suppose if you are making use of conductor, pure copper or pure aluminum as a conductors, what happens? This is getting reacted with the sulfur which is there in the VIR. So that in order to avoid that one, we must make use of a tinned copper or tinned aluminum as a conductor. And generally, the coming to the application part, this VIR can be used for low and moderate voltage cables. And coming to the next insulating material, this is called impregnated paper. Here, chemically pulped paper which is made from the wood chipping and impregnated with some compounds such as paraffinic and other materials, we can get the impregnated paper which can be used as an insulating material over the conductor directly. So the main advantage is it is cost wise, it is very less, and moreover capacitance is also less, and it will have high dielectric strength, and insulation resistance is also enhanced here. But the main drawback with this impregnated paper is it is a hygroscopic. So what happens? It absorbs the moisture. So in order to this is one of the drawback. So what when we compare these VR cables and these are cheaper and durable than the paper insulated cables. So depending upon your requirement, we can make use of the impregnated papers as an insulation. Coming to the varnished cambric. So you should understand what is a cambric material, and it is when it is coated with a varnish, its insulation properties will increase here. Basically, it is a cotton cloth, and it is varnished with coated with a varnish here. So this can also be called as a empire tape. Empire tape, and during this process, petroleum jelly is also used here. And these cables are these are also hygroscopic. So generally either varnished like impregnated paper or this varnished hygroscopic having nature of hygroscopic can be avoided. Generally these are provided with the metallic sheets here. Coming to the dielectric strength, it is 4 kV per mm, and its permittivity is 2.5 to 3.8. And finally, we would like to discuss about the polyvinyl chloride. This is a synthetic compound. It's coming from the polymerization of the acetylene in the form of white powder. Coming to the advantage of this PVC, you can observe this PVC in the practical applications like in your domestic houses or even industries also. We can find this PVC application. It is having high insulation resistance, and the dielectric strength is also improved. Mechanical toughness is there for this PVC, and Important point coming to the PVC is it is inert to the oxygen, like it does not get interacted, getting chemical action with the alkalis and acids. So that is the most important point if we compare this PVC with the other insulating materials. And this type of insulation is provided over the VAR in extreme cases, such as in the environment, such as cement factories or chemical factories, because there is a chance of getting interacting with the acids and all those. So the main application of this PVC is low and medium domestic lights and power installations. So in this video, I have given completely the what is the construction of a cable, what are the different layers will be there, and how these layers will be termed as, and what are the different insulating material properties, and what are the different types of insulating materials, and with this individual properties of insulating materials also we have discussed. Thank you. Thank you, Ananda.